Yeah, today's practice had some red zone in it. Any questions with where we're at right now?
How much does that help with the evaluation process? I guess especially for the linemen when you're able to get that red zone work in.
Well, there's just like an ongoing teaching progression, and that's part of the installation. Obviously, you're trying to get not all, but most of your installation done prior to beginning to play games. And it changes when you're in that area of the field. It's an area that you can give up yards, but if you're pretty efficient down there defensively and forcing teams to kick field goals, that can be pretty significant. And obviously, offensively, you're trying to score touchdowns. So today was our first day getting in and getting into that section of the field.
Sean, for a young player like Anzalone, how much did it benefit him going through a full 16 games?
I think quite a bit. Yeah, coming off the injury the year before, I think quite a bit. He's real smart, very comfortable in coverage, and it's to get through a year and the way he did and plays as well as he did. I think that there's a confidence level then you return with.
Some of that benefit too is physical then, because it can go through a whole off season.
Sure. Yeah, he's not rehabbing.
Right.
He's actually in the off-season program.
Sean, when you look at the RPO quarterbacks going into the future, could you see them getting double-digit carries game in and game out? I mean, as far as sticking to that system.
Look, it's a good question. Philosophically, our league has seen an evolution offensively in different directions. There's been years where multiple tight ends. At some point you're going to have to be able to run the football. I think we're seeing a little bit more of some of the built-in run or passes, and yet I think there's a place for that depending on who your personnel is and what you're trying to accomplish. That ability to run the ball without it being a PO. Because there's times where you're going to just want to run the ball. All of that, I think, factors in. But, I think a lot of it depends on who you have personnel-wise and what your vision is as a team for your offense.
Sean, did you versatile and just having Alvin's versatility, how much does that help you with the red zone? Did you work on that today?
Well, he's a good football player, not just a receiver. He's a good runner. So I think, there's a little bit more of a premium on your running game down there when you're getting some of the red coverages we do. And a 2.5, 3 yard gain is a pretty good play.
Sean, did you get a chance to see the pass interference challenge last night? Did you look
No, I heard about it. It sounded like it took all of, not that long. And look, it's just another play that's getting challenged. I felt like everyone felt, was like we saw a pass interference get challenged last night, but I didn't see the play. I didn't see the play. I'll watch it. The feedback I got was it was kind of an easy no call or ruling on the field stands, right? So, but I didn't see any of the game.
I know so much gets made of the unintended consequences, and it's so early, but you expect teams to maybe try to weaponize it in a way, try to have a technique to draw it?
Yeah, I don't. I think that'll be difficult. I think that would be. That'd be challenge. I think that'd be hard. It's being officiated the same way, right? It's being officiated the same way, and if it goes to New York, they're going to look closer at it, and then make a decision. And if they have to look at it probably over 30 seconds, they're probably going to stay with what they called on the field. So I think it's really the biggest thing is valuing your challenges a little differently now that you have one that might be a more significant play. I don't want to get caught in the second half without any challenges. So the 8 yard catch, no catch maybe, or feet in bounds in the first half probably doesn't merit using a challenge on if I can save it for a bigger play if need be. I mean, the worst thing that could happen for you as a coach would be to have a game-changing play in the second half and you're out of challenge flags.
Sean, meeting with the officials yesterday, do you think this will ever come about? Just the public perception and the integrity of the game, everything, needs to be on the up and up as far as the money involved and everything, as far as an official. And I don't know, they got a little offended when I asked them. I said, well, this official's from Mississippi, shouldn't be doing a Saints game. Because he grew up on Saints football, he should be doing the Jets or the Bills. The same thing, Southern California. Do you think just that perception, I mean, I know you got to get on the plane, the logistics of that, do you think that'll come about?
Yeah, I think, I'm not quite sure how the selections are made relative to Cruz, and so I think that's really more for Al. And I think they're mindful of that, just relative to, eliminating any type of perception. But I think that's really more of the scheduling with the league office.
Sean, after more than a year with Demario Davis, how much do you feel like that was a home run acquisition?
Well, look, it was identifying an area that we felt we wanted to improve, and then finding the right type of makeup and the right type of football player. Sometimes that's hard to do, and sometimes you have to wait for the draft. But fortunately for us, the vision was pretty clear, and to his credit, he's really come through and played well. He's a good leader too.
Not to put too much on one player, but the run defense, how they played last year, how much was he a part of?
Well, he was part of it. He's a physical player. He's not a wrap up and take down guy. He's someone that can hit you and stop you in your tracks. So he was part of that.
Sean, were there any other rule changes that you had to kind of just like?
No, you go through them. You go through them all. Look, I think one that's significant is any peel back block. It used to be you couldn't go to the head or neck, but peel back, you can't peel back behind and go towards your line of scrimmage and knock someone off their feet. You're going to have to be a little bit smarter and I think that's a good rule change. I think generally when those blocks happen, those players are out of the play anyway. They're chasing. So on a turnover, the defense has to be smart about peeling back and hitting someone. That can be a foul.
And Sean, when you are peeling back now, are you going to coach or the coaches to just screen the player?
Yeah, you're going to screen, you're going to shield. You can block them. You just can't decleat them. Look, we're learning more. You don't have to just get hit in the head to get a concussion. You can get hit hard in the chest, and can be a traumatic play for the guy getting blocked. So that was one. There's a couple relative to, there's a foul on a scoring play. A defense or offensive foul, usually it was enforced on the kickoff. It still can be, but the team that was fouled against can take it on the PAT try, and so if all of a sudden you want to make them at the end of a game, instead of kicking a field goal or PAT from the 15, you can make them kick it from the 30. That's pretty significant rather than take it on the kickoff. And then vice versa offensively, if you choose to take the foul, you can go to the 1 yard line and go for 2 if you want, as opposed to from the 2.
And Sean, it seems like also from what I got from the meeting yesterday, from an offensive standpoint, that they could be looking more closely at the running backs using their helmet, as far as maybe.
Yeah,
that seems like a
I think philosophically, the message is clear relative to leading with the head, the crown down, body behind. We know that's not a good position, and so when does that happen? It happens with a pulling lineman. It happens with a player in space, a defender. It happens with a running back when he gets outside the tackle box. And so it's really, focusing on seeing your target or head to the side. And so I think that's the second year of this rule, and again, trying to draw clarity from it.
Sean, having brought in 2 tight ends this offseason, what do you need to see out of Dan Arnold during camp to continue to
just the progress. He's a young player. He had a pretty good 50-50 ball yesterday that I thought was a good play, and then the confidence that comes with playing well. And so just that growth, the reasons that he made the team now, you're wanting to see those steps. All right, thank you.